House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is said to have a conversation with Marjorie Taylor Greene after newly unearthed comments from 2018 and 2019 show that the QAnon conspiracy theorist has supported comments calling for the execution of Democratic lawmakers. I'm not kidding. So there's been a call by Democratic lawmakers to do something about this, to ensure that there are actions taken to keep her political opponents safe, of course, but to ensure that she doesn't have certain committee assignments that could be counterproductive, considering the types of conspiracy theories she believes and considering the fact that she has supported calls for violence against her political opponents. Now, a spokesman for Kevin McCarthy said this: "These comments are deeply disturbing, and Leader McCarthy plans to have a conversation with the Congresswoman about them." Oh, that's great. Stern talking to. I mean, if it's even Stern. McCarthy had previously laid down a marker for the kind of speech deemed acceptable from Republican House members when he stripped Representative Steve King from his committee assignments for questioning why white supremacy is a bad term. Now, what King said was pretty awful. Marjorie Taylor Greene is also insanely awful in what she believes with these conspiracy theories and what she's advocated for in these social media posts. And so stripping her of committee assignments, including the education committee assignment that she's currently on, makes a lot of sense to me. But John, wanted to get your thoughts.
Oh no, I think she should be involved with our kids. Yeah, and again, I will leave it up to each individual audience member to decide whether they're more disconcerted by her desire to have Nancy Pelosi shot in the head and former President Barack Obama hung, or the fact that she literally supported comments on Facebook that talked about the frazzle drip conspiracy theory, the idea that Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin raped a girl, cut off her face, wore her face as a mask, and then drank her blood to absorb her hormones. That is literally a thing that she supported on Facebook like 2 years ago. And they're gonna have a talking to her. And so in the same way that goalposts seem to be moving really fast these years, the standards have changed a lot. Steve King, I was actually shocked when they took away his committee assignments because they don't generally do that. Republicans generally, there's nothing you can say or do that's enough to cause you to go down. For Democrats, it's pretty much anything. Katie Hill resigned, Al Franken resigned, they resign at the drop of a hat. She wants, would it be better if Nancy Pelosi wasn't around? Nancy Pelosi has to preside over sessions of Congress, looking into the eyes of a woman who's called for her murder. And they're gonna talk to her. How is that acceptable? How is that acceptable in terms of the House rules? But especially, how is it acceptable to voters? Some of this stuff is new, some of this stuff was not new during the election. And is there any evidence that her approval rating in her district has plummeted with all of this that we found out? Or is it more likely that what he's gonna talk to her about is, I'd really prefer if you wouldn't keep saying this stuff, but I also know that more and more of our voters believe at least what Marjorie Taylor Greene believes, if not worse.
Yeah, I don't even want to look at whether or not this hurts her approval rating. I don't want to be depressed. Because if people were willing to vote, I mean, it wasn't hidden that she had conspiracy leanings, not even leanings. She's a conspiracy theorist. She just is. It was a big story as she was running for Congress. It was a big story once she won that congressional district. So anyway, I don't even want to think about it because it is incredibly depressing that people can. The Hillary Clinton Huma Abedin. I mean, that conspiracy theory is. It's insane. How does anyone even believe that? How does it? Okay, whatever. So there's other stuff that we're learning about her as well, including a rant that she had about David Hogg. This was weeks after, by the way, David Hogg survived the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas high school massacre. 17 people were killed by a mass shooter. And I want to show you how Marjorie Taylor Greene responded to that.
David, why are you supporting the red flag laws? If Scott Peterson, the resource officer at Parkland, had done his job, then Nicholas Cruz wouldn't have killed anybody in your high school, or at least laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids to get to as a barrier? Do you not know how to defend your stance? Look, I'm an American citizen. I'm a gun owner. I have a concealed carry permit. I carry a gun for protection for myself, and you are using your lobby and the money behind it and the kids to try to take away my Second Amendment rights. You don't have anything to say for yourself? You can't defend your stance? How did you get over 30 appointments with senators? How'd you do that? How did you get major press coverage on this issue? And how did you get kids? Why do you use kids? Why kids?
And she also believes that that shooting was a false flag operation meant to take guns away from Americans. So she's basically the female version of Alex Jones in Congress. In Congress, in a position of power.
Yep, she believes that one was fake. She believes Sandy Hook was fake. She believes whatever is required to keep like the 3 neurons she has left warm. She will believe whatever it is. And so what you saw was a video just weeks after he survived a mass shooting. She runs him down, accuses him of taking Soros money, because you'll be shocked to find out she's an anti-Semite as well. That he took big liberal money. And also, you gotta love the imagery of this crazy person who, if she was like following me to talk about like my favorite TV show, I wouldn't talk to her on the street. She's trying to run him down. And the kid who's probably experiencing like the immediate aftershocks of PTSD from the school shooting. Oh yeah, she also pretty much assures him that she's carrying a gun right there. That crazy person who's berating him. So that's great. That's great. And a couple of years later, she gets elected to be a representative.
So how do we unite with that? That's my question.
How do you unite with crazy?
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.